Welcome, guys, to TSU Tigers Fall Camp Live 24. I'm Julius McNair.
And I'm Dr. Nicole Origi.
And we're here live today, actually, this morning with our 2024 TSU Tigers Fall Camp. So we welcome you live. This should be an exciting show. This will be our first one, and we look forward to building off of this with our current players and some of our coaches. And today we got an incredible lineup. Obviously, we'll have our projected starter at quarterback, Draylon Ellis, and then we'll have our D-line defensive lineman, Eric George, here with us today, and along with some coaches. And we'll kind of dive deep into our staff and into our 2024 season and a little bit of a recap of our 24 season. And so we're excited about that. And Dr. Rigay, are you excited?
I'm very excited. I love football season, and as a faculty member, it's been boring here on campus. So I am so happy to see the players back. I know they're going to be big troublemakers like I don't need them to be. So, oh gosh, and here is my favorite troublemaker. It's our quarterback.
How y'all doing?
Mr. Swag.
Relax.
All right, ladies. Okay. Hey.
Chill.
No, I'm coming with it. No, it's hot enough out here. I'm not chilling. Okay. Draylon,
How you doing?
talk to me. You are our graduate. You're back. You know the campus. You know the energy that we need because you bring it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you looking forward to this season?
Really just a consistent season. I feel like last year we started off on a good track, but we didn't stay consistent. I'm just looking for consistency and really just execution with the whole team, but more so as an offense. We didn't keep really just a consistent basis last year. I feel like that's why we failed at the last part of the season. So really just consistency and execution for real.
Okay.
Understand. So you talk about consistency. Obviously, there's a little bit of what we call coaching changes early in the spring for you. So talk about the adjustment from one offensive coordinator and then you bringing in Coach Travis Partridge and actually getting a full spring and with him and now fall camp.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a good change, especially like the environment he just brings around, the coaching staff that he brought with him. They're always here. So especially when the players see the coaches always here, that's a good thing to just see out there. Like the coaches are here for us and stuff like that. And also he give me, plenty leeway to do what I want in the offense. Not do what I want, but really just make checks. Run game coordinators really just making checks in the run game, seeing if I have pressure or anything like that. So it's really been a big change, and I really expect a lot from my guys this season.
So when you're talking about decision-making and consistency, how do you help, especially the new guys, understand the rhythm that they need to get to execute a strong season from beginning to end? Really just knowing what you got to do. If you know what you got to do, you'll execute well. And that's one of our biggest things that we got to work on right now is really just knowing what we got to do and really just executing, knowing where we got to line up because, we don't know where to line up. We can't start a play. So really just knowing where we line up, really just getting the base of the offense down and really just executing.
Absolutely. So Dre, there's a lot of new faces, of course, on this offense, and you talk about it. There's 58 newcomers. Obviously, 23 of those were freshmen, and you talk about having a new receiver, Jaleel Dean, who transferred from Tennessee Tech. You talk about Connor Meadows, who transferred in from Tennessee. Yeah. So talk about the addition of those pieces and how they're going to help you and help this offense and obviously help this team.
Yeah, they've been a great addition. I would say first leadership because Connor and Jaleel been great leaders as they came in, and they shown hard work, and that's what we really need to see. Just great leaders and hard work, and they're going to be a great addition. They've been working their butts off, so they ready for the seasons. Jaleel last year, so I know he ready to go just like me. Connor coming from University of Tennessee, I know he ready to go. He brings the energy every day. So all the additions that we had, they're great additions, great playmakers. So just gotta really just get it done.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, obviously it's almost time. What are your expectations of this 2024-25 TSU Tiger offense?
Really just explosive. I say explosive, more explosive plays, more RPOs out of me. I can use my feet. As y'all saw last year, I can use my feet, but I'm really just trying to stay in the pocket more. But really just explosives, being consistent, being an offense that they really got a challenge. So they got to give different looks, different defenses and stuff like that. So really just consistency.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Fans, this is your QB. We expect to see you in the stands. You gonna make us look good?
Always.
Always. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
y'all.
Jalen.
All right, and coming up next, we have the exciting Eric George. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing? Go ahead and get comfortable.
Morning, Eric. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Before practice gets started. So, obviously, returning. Obviously, you trying to build off of 6-5 season last year.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, Coach Brandon Fisher is back for a 4th season. A lot of new faces defensively as well.
Yes.
And so, just talk about the changes and how they the new faces have I guess made this defense better or feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, they've been awesome so far. The new additions on the D line have been great personally. So they just brought a lot of depth, a lot of experience. Guys who have been in college for 2 to 3 years. They bring a lot of versatility to the table.
Yeah.
Like Keandre Booker, Kieran Smith, Cam Blaylock. They're really funny guys too. So I love them. They've been great so far. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So last season, the fans were really impressed with the defense. So how do you maintain that focus and intensity throughout a game?
Just knowing that you have 10 other guys on the field out there with you. That we say we have a brotherhood, and we live by that every day, every practice, every meeting. Everything we do. We go eat in the calves together. We hang out together. So bringing that chemistry onto the field is essential to our success, and I feel like we had that this year.
Okay.
That's awesome. So obviously, we got a big road game. Obviously, this is our first time since 2019, I believe, having a home opening game, right? And so you got to talk to the fans about the importance of them coming out, and obviously for us to have a home game to start the season.
Yeah, we need y'all. We need them out there, man. We feed off their energy. So whenever we make a big play, we look up to the crowd. See them going crazy, hype us up.
Yeah, for sure.
So we need them out there, man. For the fill up, needs sign. Past couple years, we ain't really had the attendance we wanted, but this year I feel like we have big things coming. I feel like fans will be able to see it.
Yeah, I think with the additions and obviously the new faces and obviously everyone loves to see the band, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, that's just an addition to watching the guys that put in the hard work day in and day out, the film room, the classroom, and those things. And for our players to continue to stay disciplined, right, we need that support from you guys because they thrive off that. So, Doctor, you got it?
So are there any major goals that you have this year for yourself, to make sure that you are executing to your highest ability?
My main goal is just take it day by day, get better 1% each and every day. Push these guys to get better because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. You can't be focusing on yourself all the time. Sometimes you got to sacrifice yourself so somebody else can make the play. And that's what we thrive off of in our defense because once we do our job, we're fine. That's all we got to do. And personally, my goal is just to win. That's all that matters to me right now. Be here with my guys, just winning.
We share that goal.
Yeah.
We share that goal. Winning is good.
I agree. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
And so we know the aggressive style of Coach Fisher, right? We know we want to attack. We want to play a little cover 3, play cover 4, and a little bit of man. What are your expectations of this defense along with Coach Fisher's?
My expectation is to shut people down each and every game. That's our goal. Whether it's in practice against our teammates or in the game, we are coming out here to work. We are coming out here to make guys feel us. Either win or lose, we want you to feel us. That's the goal every time. Yeah.
I love it. No, I can greatly appreciate that energy and you taking time to talk with us today. It's really important. And again, fans, our players need you to show up. You heard it from the horse's mouth. We need you out here starting off with the kickoff that's coming up next week. We'll give you some more information about that. But Eric, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
All right.
Stay safe.
Appreciate
Get some
you
workouts
tonight.
out there for
Yeah,
me.
I
Couple
got you.
jumping jacks. Just 5. I only need 5. I'm not greedy. Oh, well, Julius.
Well, so obviously we talk about this season. John Merritt Classic starts here.
So
I guess
excited about
2
John
weeks
Merritt's
away
Classic.
now.
Yes.
And with me being a fresh face on campus, I will say this is a whole production, guys. I mean, I didn't know it was this many events,
Yes.
But this is an exciting time. And
Good morning.
well, look, we got a special guest here.
I know. Didn't even knock on the front door. Oh my goodness. No. Oh my God. No, come on,
in.
King George.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, sir?
I am doing well. Trying to stay
Right.
cool.
You ready to get to work?
See, I see they brought out the shade for you. Typically, we're out here in the hot sun.
I mean,
God bless you with the nice little breeze today.
we try to do.
It was triple digits last
Yeah,
week.
it was. I walked back here and I walked back and I turned right back around. I'll let you guys have it.
Yes.
So, Coach, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. Yeah. Obviously, this is our first episode, and what better person to have than the head coach himself, right?
Yes, man.
And so, obviously, going into your fourth season, and you trying to build off of last season's 6-5 record. What has been the consistent message from spring to summer to this fall camp?
Oh, man. The consistent message has been teaching championship habits.
Okay.
Falling in love with the process of that. And that process is building those habits, being on time, being coachable, embracing the uncomfortable. Specifically for this team is winning the day, being present, and that's something I've harped on, going back to last spring, really from the winter, spring, and now in the summer. And our main goal is to be 9 units strong. And that's a daily process, 9 units being the quarterbacks, receivers, defensive line, and so forth. And no matter who's in there, it can be the third string backup. He comes in as just as effective as anybody else. And, if we do that, the results will take care of itself on the field and certainly throughout the season.
Absolutely. And so obviously school's getting ready to kick off. And guys are starting to see people on starting to see people around. So
distractions. Talk to that.
So talk about how you've been able to keep their focus. Obviously, going into school next week and you got a week left. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's the other thing I talked about coming into the summer, I'm jumping around a little bit, but is one word. I challenged my staff to pick a word that's going to define the season. And for me, it was trust. It was trust the process. But in that trust, it was faith. So it's an acronym, the focus, the F, attitude, positive attitude, your intentions, trusting each other, trusting the process, and helping one another. Iron sharpens iron. So focus comes to, again, focusing on your work, your schoolwork, and being on this football field and taking care of your body. All the things that's necessary for us to be our best selves every single day. And, we've got to learn to deal with the distractions, distractions of schoolwork, distractions of the campus life and the parties and all of that. So you've got to be able to manage that time and realize what is important, So I always start off camp with what is your number one goal? What is your vision? And you play to that. You begin the journey with the end in mind. If your goal is to be an All-American and to be a national champion, you begin with the end in mind. Yeah. So you build everything else around that, and everything else becomes secondary if you're really about that life.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so we know that you're the head coach on the field, but it's also important for you to be the head coach for the fans. So if you were thinking about offense and defensive strategies to make sure that you have a strong fan base and get us whipped into shape. Some of our fans are a little bit out of shape. You know who you are. What would you tell us to make sure that we are delivering for you and your team throughout the season?
Come to the games. Buy your season tickets. Our kids are working their tails off for the fans, for the school. And it's nothing like running out of the tunnel and seeing your fans on the other side, cheering you on. And believe it or not, you feed off of that energy. There's some days when you're tired and you're beat up in the middle of the season in November, and you're trying to find that next gear. And the fan support's everything. And I know it's been there in spots, but just the consistency of that will be good. And of course, it's on my job to put a winning product on the field.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to put a nice product on the field so the fans can feel like they can come cheer for something. They can go on the road. We got some incredible games coming up.
Yeah.
Starting off with the John Merritt Classic against Mississippi Valley State, going up to Fargo, North Dakota to play the second-ranked team in the country in FCS football. Yeah. And we also have Howard's homecoming, so we're going from Idaho to D.C. and everything in between. So there's some games that you can travel to, but certainly just come to the home games to support.
Yeah. Got it. So you heard it, fans. it's also the games in between. Don't just show up for the cookout and the classic and jam. We need you in Nissan every game. Get your season tickets.
Absolutely. So we talk about the conference games, Coach, and I'm going to direct this to the fans. Hey, the importance of our conference games is to get us to the FCS playoffs. Like we're not the SWAC, we're not the MEAC. We are the OVC Big South, and we've merged. And Coach George can attest to this. The better that we are, the better our chances are, especially against the North Dakotas, against the Howards, against those opponents. They drive our RPI rankings towards those conference conversations and playoff implications. So it's important that you guys do support those, not just those Howards and the Mississippi Valley States, because those OVC games in between really do matter.
And there's some really good football
Yeah,
players.
it really is.
You got UT Martin, SEMO, Tennessee Tech up the street.
Yeah,
there's some really good. If you love football,
if you love
come
football,
out and watch these games.
Football is football.
Yes,
sure.
right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So Coach, I should, we get back on the football subject here, just from your team standpoint. You talk about the 58 newcomers that you have. Obviously, that's probably a first for you during your tenure here. So talk about how the transition of bringing in those 58 new people and how they have meshed with the returning roster.
Yeah, it's culture. You gotta. My number one job is.
Deion says, "Culture. What is culture?"
Well, it's not for everybody, But what I believe, it's every day. It's not something that you paint on the wall, words you put on the wall, and you just have it there for design. It's what you believe. It's what you're living. It's what you're showing. It's what you're demonstrating. It's the truth of who you are.
Absolutely.
So that to me is so important, because what we're preaching and teaching and the lifestyle we're presenting to you is principles and values that's going to take you beyond the field.
Absolutely.
And you're reaping the benefits on it right now in real time. So I'm very intentional about the things I talk to my team about. And it's not just something I saw on Twitter or the internet say, oh, this sounds nice and fun. If it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't apply to these guys, it doesn't make sense. So I'm very conscious of that, and that's an ongoing thing. Culture is a living, breathing thing. The more that you feed it, the more that it's going to grow. If you don't feed into it, if you don't buy into it, if you don't believe it, then that's your culture, and that is going to show. Because when adversity hits, who are you? When it shakes you down to your core, how are you going to respond? And our guys are doing just that. So you ask the question, it's a brand new team. You have 58 new incomers. The guys that have been here for the last 3-4 years have taken on that standard, and they're raising that standard. I mean, I've seen things, within the team, just the talk, the conversations that they're having, how they're holding each other accountable, without me having to point things out. It's taken care of without me saying anything. So now that lets me know we're on the right track.
Yeah, no, as a former coach, hearing those type of conversations without having to initiate those, it's a blessing.
It is.
So I can sentiment with that. Don?
So in terms of rhythm, have you listen, Julius, let me do my question. Okay. So in terms of rhythm, do you feel like that's gelling right now? Do you have a timeline or a pace as a coach when you really feel like, I know that they're ready to execute, because we do have this home game coming up fairly quickly. So
we're getting there. There's still a lot of practice time between now and then. A day in training camp is like a week. So there's a lot of corrections that can be made, a lot of growth that happens from one practice to the next. Our main thing is just to be consistent, and harp on, relentless effort and doing the little things right. And again, our process is not just to be in mid-season form by game one. It's to be 9 units strong by the end of the year. Absolutely. By the time we get into November, when it's championship season, we want to be in the conversation of that, and then we want to be at our peak level and operating at a high rate by the time we play UT Martin in November.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, it's crunch time.
It is what it is. Yeah.
No, it's still you. No, it's still you. But if we're going to talk about rhythm, I do want to know real quickly. Word on the street. Some birdie told me, a blue tiger somebody, that you got some DJing skills.
Yeah.
And so
I stand on that. I stand on that
Okay.
wholeheartedly.
So in terms
Like
of these
I'm not
DJs
shy about that at all.
Okay, well, I hope that as we have this upcoming
You don't have to
senior-
hope. You don't have to hope at all.
Listen,
Just show up.
Julie.
Because
Just show up and have your dancing shoes on. That's all.
Because what I've heard next week at our senior kickoff,
Yes.
Coach George will be on the ones and twos
Yeah.
in a little battle. So if you want to see it, you got to be
believe
here.
it.
You got to be here. You got to be here.
Okay, I will. I'm challenging you, fans. The tickets are $5. Come get a hot dog, a hamburger, and we'll see what King George is gonna be putting down on
I like
the
the
ones
King. That's good.
and twos, because he knows I'm one for the booze.
Last one before you go.
Parking lot.
Last one before you go, Coach. What are your expectations for this 2024 Tiger season?
My expectation is that we give our best. Clearly, Julius, we want to win the championship.
Absolutely.
We want it all. I think this is the time. I think we put together a really good roster of kids. There's been some overhaul in the staff the last couple of months. I had an offensive coordinator, had to replace him. Something happened with my wide receiver coach, had to replace him. And I believe that's an opportunity to get better.
Yeah.
So my expectation is we're gonna go out and put our best foot forward. All right, and we believe we can win every single game on the schedule, but we got to win here first.
Absolutely.
We got to learn ourselves, learn how to prepare, how to practice, how to raise that level of intensity every single day. Especially when the dog days of summer are kicking in right now. But we're at practice 12.
Yeah.
So guys are a little antsy, they're sore, they're banged up, and they're getting tired of hitting on each other. So you got to have the mental toughness and tenacity to take on the heat, the pain, the distractions, and get the job done. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Well, best of luck to you, Coach, in this season. Obviously,
back to
we'll be rooting for you, baby.
We are absolutely rooting for you.
All right, thanks a lot, Julius.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you
Cole.
for your
All right.
time. Behave yourself.
As usual.
Again, fans, next Friday, August 23rd, we have the senior kickoff cookout here in Hale Stadium. $5. You got it. Find a friend, cash app them, but you have it. But this is an opportunity to get up close and personal with our players, with our coach, and to bring out that Big Blue family. I mean, the students are coming back. You need this time to fellowship and reconnect to why this Big Blue energy is so strong here in Roar City. So we're looking for you. And he said he can DJ. We're gonna test that theory.
That we are. So I'm excited about it. Obviously behind us, they're getting ready to stretch here and obviously getting ready to kind of roll into their first periods. But I know coming up next we'll have our first season offensive coordinator Travis Partridge, who came over from Conference 4 UT Martin. And so actually he's walking up right now.
I promise you, Julian, every time he says a name, the person walks up. Julian, what my lucky lottery numbers? I'm trying to go.
Listen, you and I both.
Okay.
You and I both.
Okay, but for now, we are excited to welcome our newest member of the Tiger family.
Absolutely. That's right. Welcome, Travis, to the show. Obviously, it's our first episode, and lucky for us, we get to have you, right?
That's right. Lucky for y'all.
For sure. So just talking about your transition. Obviously, it was kind of a early spring, right before spring ball, before here. So just talk about your transition over and kind of some of the things that you've seen and noticed with this offensive staff because they're new. I mean, mostly new in the team.
Well, it's different. It kind of challenges who you are identity-wise when you get hired 1 week before spring ball, okay? Because you don't get all the winter months to try stuff out and okay, let's do this and okay, this is my personnel. He's good at this, he's good at that. We don't get all that. So it's like, okay, who do I want to be offensively? And then from a staff standpoint, it's learning it.
Yeah.
Perfecting it, right? Like this coach might coach this way, and me have to learn and change my way of thinking. And, or this coach, I have to over-explain this because this coach hasn't done this kind of offense, or yada, yada, yada. But the staff's been unbelievable. Coach George has been unbelievable, and the players are really, really hungry. Anytime there's change.
Yeah.
Anytime there's change, it's hard. Yeah. Like there's no easy change, whether it's a positive change or a negative change, whatever it is, it's still hard. And the kids, what I found was the kids were just hungry for information. Please, more. And I was the one that was putting the reins on them. Like, hey, okay, let's move at this pace. You know what I mean? So that's a great thing.
That's a great problem to have when the players want more from their coaches. You know, whether it's in the film room or on the field.
Right.
And so obviously you're restricted from some things, but it's great that you've been able to adapt and they've been able to adapt to your culture and your mindset and your teaching method as well. Talk about your quarterback room. Obviously, you have Draylon Ellis is returning in his final season, transfer Tevin Carter as well. So just kind of talk about those two and anyone else in that room.
Yeah, no, it's you talking about getting lucky. Anytime you inherit a room, because shoot, 1 week before spring ball, right? So the quarterbacks that were in the room were in the room, and those first couple you mentioned, Draylon and Tevin, have been unbelievable from a learning standpoint, from a talent standpoint, leadership standpoint. Talking about lottery tickets. I feel really, really blessed to have those two in my room. It would not go without them. They wouldn't accept change as well. The whole unit looks to them. If they're not stressed about new install, the receivers don't, and the O-line doesn't, and they make it go. You know what I mean? I may be scripting and designing stuff, but they're the ones that make it go, and they've been unbelievable. And then those young guys, they're hungry too. You look at a Nashville guy like Ryder Hagan steps in. Immediately, like he's learning an offense and learning signals. Chase Spellman's a freshman that just got here. He's molded in the group well. George Hamsley's another guy. Was a Memphis guy. I guess we got a bunch of Memphis guys.
We love it.
But no, they've been great. They've been unbelievable, and it's weird how all of a sudden you get a couple good football players and you're a really good football coach.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
I think, man, you're really coaching the quarterback well. I'm like, yeah, it's all me. You know what I mean? No, they've been great. And they're hungry for information too. Like I keep talking about Draylon, and where he's had a tough go. I've learned a lot from past experience of mine of sometimes it's not all roses. You know what I mean? It's he had what he had at Austin Peay, and in the last couple of years have been some turmoil, some turnover. He changed his number. And that's significant. I don't know if anyone picks up on it. That's a significant thing. Like, hey, that's number 7. I'm number 1. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's more of a mental thing for him too. It's if anybody's been out to practice, they see the change in Draylon. And DJ is exceptionally talented. I look forward to watching him grow.
Absolutely.
Oh, so with the addition of the new players and the development of returning players, how do you find that balance?
Well, it's I probably am too self-demeaning sometimes. I'm not the smartest dude in the whole planet, right? Ultimately, you want to do what your players do the best.
For sure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you don't try to fit square pegs around holes all the time. So the learning process from the spring to the fall to the new transfers, it's just kind of ever-changing and molding. The offense is the offense, and tomato. But hey, we're going to do more of this because our guys are good at this. You know what I mean? And we're going to do more of that because our guys are good at that. It doesn't always have to be this, grand answer. Sometimes just get simple, and let the kids play fast.
Let the kids play.
And it usually works out.
Understood. No, for sure. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. I know you got to get ready to head back out, but we appreciate your time. We're looking forward to seeing an exciting and
good meeting
and deadly offense this year.
It was a good meeting.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time, Coach Archer.
I don't know from where.
Unfortunately.
I did kind of kick his butt at golf a few times
here we go.
in Martin, Tennessee.
But
hey,
it got ugly.
You guys don't worry about it. Don't
Find
listen.
me a putt-putt golf course. Shutting it down.
For sure.
Well, listen, we appreciate your time, Coach.
Absolutely.
Keep them safe out there.
Nice to meet you.
Well, guys, that was your offensive coordinator, Travis Partridge. Obviously, he's in his first season with this Tennessee State Tigers football team. And obviously, as you heard him say, he's walked into a gold mine of quarterbacks and obviously talented players from a recruiting standpoint. When you do it right, you kind of go out and get what you need and get what you want, and it makes it easy for you. So I think up next,
coming to the stage,
we have our defensive coordinator, who's in his 4th season. Coach Brandon Fisher here with us today. Coach, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. So do we have like a 30-second delay on this thing? There's no. Okay. So we'll get that version of Coach Fisher.
Absolutely.
I got it.
Get the no filter zone right now.
Yeah. So y'all had Coach Partridge. We've been watching 9 on 7 back here over our shoulder, just kicking their butts. But yeah, here we go.
Don't do that.
So, Coach, you talk about. I mean, we've asked this question to everyone else, so you get to be the final answer for this. Talk about the newcomers on that defensive side of the ball.
Well, everybody always wants to talk about the portal and losing guys. Sometimes replacing 5 or 6 guys is a good thing. And that's what I've seen. As a defensive coordinator, when you have 4 D linemen that can go in 2 corners, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. And right now we've got this is the best D line that we have returned since we've been here. We've played some pretty good defense. This is the best D line and the 2 best corners we've lined up with. So we're having a lot of fun moving around the other pieces to make it work and show some creativity. But I'm excited about where things are trending right now.
Yeah, especially when you talk about that D line covering up those backers. I mean, some easy run throughs, right?
Well, I'll sit there. Last year we ranked our defense, 1 through 11 overall. Our number 1 player we said was Jalen Bell going into the season, and nobody got to see him.
Yeah.
I remember those Notre Dame O linemen who met Jalen Bell at the bus and said, "Man, you were hell to deal with today." And he's a different version of himself. Eric is a true freshman All-American. We saw what he did in a rotational role with TA. Mm-hmm. Eric is a different version of himself. And then a couple of the additions that we brought in from Keandre Booker, Meonte Kimbrough, Kyrion Smith. We've got some fun pieces to play around with right now.
So last season, I really enjoyed those 3rd down stops, those red zone moments. I love the red shirt because I could always spot you on the sideline. So talk about this action energy that you're looking forward to bringing this season.
A lot of it comes from, I had a chance to work for a defensive coordinator. His name was Greg Williams, and he was the loudest, most ignorant person in front of the player you've ever seen. But it was all by design. It was all preaching confidence. It was all getting the players to believe they're better than they really are. And so that's kind of what part of our standard is that, yes, I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be heard. I'm going to walk the line, toe the edge at times. But that I feel like our defense takes on that personality. We try and play that way. And then we do. You talk about red zone and 3rd down. We take a lot of pride in situational football. Our guys know when the ball gets in the 20, it's okay if they get down there. We don't give up points.
Right.
Those are the marks of great defenses. Teams that don't give up points inside the 25 and get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not hard. You can coach defense. Right there. Yes, that's all it is. Get off the field in the red zone and be good on 3rd down.
I'm going to stick to what I know I'm good at, which is right here talking to you.
Okay.
Julius, hit him with another question. Get me out the hot seat.
Oh, wow. So Coach, as you talk about, the corners, you talk about the defensive linemen, obviously, and moving the middle pieces of this defense. Who are you most excited about watching continue to grow during the remaining of fall camp?
I'm going to start with Ahmad Nelson because there's nobody that signifies what you want in a Mike linebacker. There's a guy that 2-3 years ago we said, is this one that we want to move on from? And now we're looking at a guy that has done nothing but work for 2 years, has got master's degrees in his back pockets, and runs the defense at a level that we have not had since we've been here. It's the first time that I can say that I have a quarterback of the defense. I have an extension of myself, of Coach Bowden, getting everybody lined up, and that goes a long way.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really good young pieces we're excited about. Micah Gay leads that group at our will linebacker spot, and he's a little crash dummy. He just goes in there and throws his body around, bounces off people, and we're going to be able to do it by committee this year. We haven't had a lot of depth the last couple of years. You've seen the same 11 guys out there all season. I believe we're now going to have the opportunity to, go 2 or 3 series, and here comes the next group, and here comes the next group, which ultimately is going to push our ceiling higher.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, before we let you get back out and get to work, what's the last thing you want to say to the fans?
Oh, just come out and watch us. It's going to be fun. All the support, any crowd noise we get, it goes a long way, and this is going to be a fun group to watch. I promise. It'll be a fun group to watch play this year.
Well, if you can't find him, he has a red shirt.
If you can't find me, I promise you'll hear me.
That is true. So you have to be in Nissan Stadium in the stands to hear him, but the energy is all side. It's giving good side.
We just got to decide if we're going to put the ski mask back on. We got to find something else.
Hey, let's leave that up for debate, Coach. How about that? Well, listen, Coach, we appreciate your time today. I should get back to work.
We're going to get back to kicking the offense's ass out here.
Stay healthy. Stay healthy.
Keep that one.
Well, Doc, I mean, we've had an incredible lineup so far.
We have, and I'm really feeling excited about being at work because, you know, the great thing about this and what you're hearing is that there's a level of passion, energy, and commitment for these players. And again, as fans, we need you to have that not situational energy, but consistent energy throughout the season to support these young men. So you're new. What are you excited about?
Well, I'm just excited about football. I'm a football fan, so I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's football, you know.
You
it's
gave
football.
the easy answer.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say, we're coming next. We're going to have the brains and the mastermind of the whole recruiting cycle that we've had. For this 2000, yeah, I mean, well, we'll have to see when he gets here. But I will say that going into bringing in 58 new players, it's a lot. You know, it's a lot. And with 23 of those being freshmen, I will say having that background of continue to build the foundation of high school players is still an important piece to this whole game. But like you heard Coach George and Coach Fisher say, everybody talks about the portal. Well, the portal is good and bad. You know, you still can recruit bad out of the portal, but I think once you bring in those high school players who are homegrown, who wants to be at certain places, has been really good. And so we'll get to hear more about this here from Coach Kevin Mashak.
I was say, talk about bringing in players. Come on, Director of Recruiting.
Well, Coach,
how you doing,
Mashak,
Coach?
appreciate you being here.
No, it's great to be here. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. So
Wait, pause. You are not going to come out here with the bling and the glasses on. Give him fashion. I thought Draylon had something. Come on, Kev. Okay, go ahead, Julie. I'm going to behave.
Let him speak.
These
I'm going to let him cook.
I need to see. That's why I wear these glasses.
Well, Coach Mashak, obviously we're getting ready to kick off the 24th season here, and obviously talk about the brains of your operation and your staff and how you've been able to help bring in those 58 players.
Yeah, well, it all started again this time last year. I first got here in July of 2023. You know, when came in, Coach George wanted a plan of how, the roster was already typically what it was when I got here. And we started a plan then of how we can shape today. You know, Coach George said he wanted bigger linemen. You know, we wanted more explosive receivers, you know, specifically offensively, and he wanted a deeper running back room. You know, so that's kind of what we focused on. That's what we've been able to do. You know, defensively, we were already pretty good defensively.
Yeah.
And Coach Fisher already had a plan at each position. So for me, it was just a matter of learning what it is each guy looked like in his scheme and just trying to find guys that were better than what we already had. You know, so that's kind of what it was and how we came to get to where we are today with the roster that we have now.
So we talk about the foundation. There's 23 freshmen.
Yeah.
What was the mindset of going into the couple early signing periods that we had?
Well, I think everybody kind of knows and understands and hears about the transfer portal and what that is and how, teams are building rosters that way. I think we kind of wanted to use that as a supplement. You know, Coach George wanted to build through typically what they call the draft now as opposed to free agency. So for us, our draft is signing day with high school kids. You know, so that was what we did. We were able to go ahead and sign those 23 kids out of high schools. A lot of kids that were, local guys that we spent a lot of time kind of reaching out to. Then we kind of went into what we call our 250-mile radius. That's kind of where most of the kids came from. You know, Mississippi, St. Louis, the Atlanta area. Then a bunch of Middle Tennessee, Northwest Tennessee, Nashville. So that's kind of what our radius was and kind of how we attacked recruiting. And then when we came to January and the portal opened, with some of the older guys that we had leaving, then we went and kind of hit the junior colleges. We've got about 6 or 7 junior college transfers that we brought in here. A few FBS transfers, a few kids from Division IIs that moved up. So we kind of just used the portal and recruiting high school kids all to our advantage to get to where we are today. And I think we feel like now we are complete and deep at each position. And that's what you got to have, and that's what we were able to do.
Sure.
So you have a very interesting role. I mean, considering the transfer portal has totally shaped and reshaped collegiate sports and collegiate recruiting. So how do you identify talent that's not just good on paper but can fit into an HBCU culture like Tennessee State University?
So a lot of that comes with after watching them and making sure they fit athletically by watching them on tape and going and watching them play live.
You know, you got to bring them on campus. You got to get them around your players on visits to make sure for their parents to see, because what we have ain't for everybody.
Yeah,
it's just not. You know, and you know, to take on the task or to take on the will to want to be at an HBCU, it takes a special kid. I went to school here. I graduated here. You know, some of our coaches have. You know, so I know what it takes to be a Tiger. I don't know what it's like on other HBCU campuses, but I know what it's like here.
Okay.
You know, so having the right person, the right family, the right fit, you got to bring them on campus. And that's on game days and official visits. You got to have their family spending time with your coaching staff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we were able to do, to say, there's some kids we brought in here that we really liked, and we said, guys, he probably not going to fit this culture.
Yeah.
It's not for him. But you got to be real with yourself as a staff, you know, and willing to say, hey, we may have to turn down a talent to get the right culture fit in here. That's going to blend with us and everybody else.
Well, that's helpful. That's very helpful to know.
Absolutely. You talk about the culture, and Coach George harped on the culture, and it starts from day one.
That's right.
And it starts with him, you know, walking and talking it and eating and breathing and sleeping it every day. And so I think you guys have done a phenomenal job of that. But before we let you get ready to head out and get back out and kind of scout yourselves again, right?
Right.
What's one thing you want to tell the fans?
Well, you know, I think this year is going to be something that's different from any of the previous years that you saw with Coach George and his staff. Like I just said, the brand of football is going to be different. It's going to look different offensively, exciting. The defense is still going to be fast and physical, what you've been seeing with Coach Fisher and that staff with a lot of energy. I just want you guys to know it's not going to be the same old thing that you've seen.
Yeah.
And that you should be, as a Tiger fan or a Tiger alum, you should be happy about what's about to happen on August 31st. So come see it for yourself. I really, really do think you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to make you want to come to all the rest of it.
Well, you heard it here first, guys.
Absolutely.
Coach, we'll appreciate your time.
Thank you,
obviously,
man.
continue grinding, continue putting in the work, and continue to build on the team that these fans talk about wanting to see and wanting to be a part of. So we appreciate your time.
That's right. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Behave. You're looking good, sir.
Season tickets are on sale, if you must know. They are $125 for season tickets, and that's
so affordable.
You got to break it down, guys. Break the tickets down in your head. It makes so much sense to that you can afford it, right? So
and
grab a
than
seat.
That, hold up. We're not going to do this, Tiger fans. Now listen. The John Merritt Classic is Labor Day weekend. You know you don't have to work. I checked the school calendar. Second of all, it's payday weekend, so you have plenty of reason, time, and opportunity to go ahead and get those season tickets. Come on now. Plus, if you're hungry, again, Friday before, $5. You can't beat a $5 meal in this new Nashville area. Come by here. Come meet the players, see the product that is out on the field. Fellowship, we're going to use this like as a pre-homecoming football something. I'm already hungry thinking about it. $5, season tickets $125, faculty, staff. You know what to do. Plus, look at these shirts, aren't they cute? Because you know you don't come up here with like not having your swag together.
You gotta have
Head
it.
over to the bookstore. They're open. Go online to the shop. Get your swag together so that we can all look good. Big Blue. I want to see it out here.
Yeah, she talked about the swag. TSUtigers.com. Hit the shop button. There's gear there. Don't be afraid. Hey, all proceeds go to the TSU Tiger Athletic Fund. Right. So we're all trying. We're all trying. And so just continue to talk about this. Upcoming events, obviously, you talk about next week, August 21st. Obviously, it's the Chazon Page first pitch partnership with the Nashville Sound.
Yes.
So all proceeds, $7 of each ticket purchase will go towards the Chazon Page Scholarship Foundation. All right, August 23rd, you talk about your senior kickoff, $5 entrance fee. Obviously, come meet and greet with the players, sign autographs. There's a bounce house, there's ices, there's food. Hey, there's a lot going on.
Let me go get my. What time does it start? 4 to 6?
4 to 6. Gates open at 3. Event starts at 4 to 6. Coach George will be in the DJ battle.
We're still suspect on that. Decision's out. But if nothing else, I'm going to get a bounce house and a snow cone.
It is. And I will say this, guys. Up next, we just had our special guest walk in. And Dr. Riga, do you want to do the introduction?
Yeah, man, if the director.
The
director, Dr. Michael Mickey Allen.
Right.
CEO of athletics. I love it.
love the introduction, Dr.
Listen,
Nicole.
I can't do much, but I can do an intro.
Hey, she killed it.
She killed it. On fire. I felt like I was Kevin Hart or somebody coming in, baby. Give me the stage. I love it.
With the fire.
Right.
No,
right.
not yet. Okay, we'll get that in the budget for the next time.
Absolutely. So, Doc, welcome.
Hey, I appreciate you all having me on, and man, this is awesome, right?
Yeah, it's
August.
Great. It's August.
Camp.
It's football. It's football season.
I can smell it. Hey, smell the grass.
Hey,
the guys, man, they are out here in install and really learning, and it's a big season ahead for the Tigers, man. Come on, man.
That it is. And that's a great segue into this. You talk about the 2024 season. What are you most excited about?
Man, the schedule, man. I mean, look, we go on the road to play a powerhouse in North Dakota State University, the Bison. We know the history of that program.
Absolutely. They're number 2.
Right. The FCS number 2. It'll be a great test. And I think back last year when we hit the road in South Bend, and we were tested there, and what we did in terms of that schedule, we were really preparing for 25, right?
Okay.
And then and so here we are. I think what we've done from a roster standpoint. You've heard from Coach Mashak. He's really done a good job, and him and Coach George and all of our coaches in recruiting, right? We've added depth, right? And so when you play a team like North Dakota State, they're going to have the bigs up front that'll move you around. And so we can match that, I believe, in terms of what we built here in our offensive line and defensive line talent. And then we're gonna go to Memphis. We've been doing that for a while, right, Dr. Nicole? Yeah. So the Southern Heritage Classic, we're now playing University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. We had a great showing last year, and so our guys will be ready for that test. And then, man, we'll be here for our home. Well, before we go to Memphis, now we got ours now. Yeah. Our game, the John Merritt Classic, honoring the legendary
absolutely.
Coach John A. Merritt. Gotta say the A.
Gotta say the A.
Yeah.
Gotta say the A.
So look,
you'll get in trouble if you don't now.
Right. So he's a man of Kappa Alpha Psi, right? And so my frat brother said,
the plug, everyone, the plug.
Right. But they said the A is important, right? So middle initial. But man, what a legacy he left. His imprint on our program, the teams he had, the Hall of Fame players he produced. We're really still chasing that, right? Yeah. But we're doing the right things to get back to that. And one of the things that he did that was so special, and you hear all these stories, he engaged with the community, he engaged with the alums, and so now we're in this new modern era, and so this is a way now we're engaged.
Absolutely.
We got the podcast we just released.
Yeah, great
we're
episode.
doing right. Got Coach Cheese on there. Talk a little bit about Ed Temple and the Tiger.
It's a great follow up to the Olympics. So with Coach Cheese and having her on there and her success and what she's done. So obviously great choice of guests for the first episode.
And so that podcast, I'm so glad podcast, it'll give us the opportunity to really get our message out there, and for alums. I mean, business owners, we got the guys from Slim and Huskies that are going to be on.
Yeah.
We got former players, former athletes. Like you said, Coach Cheese was a great start.
Yeah.
But our coaches like Candace Dupree, who wouldn't want to hear from her right now with women's basketball and how the league is taking off and what she did there, and Coach Penny. And so we have a lot to offer in that podcast. But the season, like you said, that's what I'm most excited about. We got 5 home games. Tickets are on sale now. Y'all let them know.
Oh, we already told you.
Very affordable now.
Tell them again.
I let them know.
Tickets are on sale now. TSUTix.com.
Yep.
Let's
Put on
go.
your payday budget. Come on now. It's coming up. It's
125.
125, dog.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. But no, we've really bolstered our season ticket fan base, that group, and then what we've done with your assistance right now and your help, Julius, as the assistant athletic director of strategic initiatives and development, and really in charge of revenue generation. And that's important for all programs, not just our HBCU program, that we really stress the importance of giving back to your alma mater and really pouring into these student athletes behind us. And so whether it's nutrition or equipment, different things that we can supplement our operating budget that comes over from state dollars, we want to operate in a space where we give our kids the best experience possible, but it's going to take private support.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, Doc talks about the revenue portion and the state. and I know everyone out there is wondering when the state's going to give TSU their money. Well, we don't control that, but we do. What we do control is when you walk through the door and you tell us where you want to support, where you want your dollars to go. We can show you. I can show you where your dollars will go. So no question about what the state's doing. Don't question what we're doing. Just know that we're here for you, and we want you to be here for us. So with that being said, Doc, I want to let you go ahead and ask your question.
No, I'm loving all of it, because one of the things that was clear from Coach George and AD Allen, what I'm hearing from you is that it's not just about now, but you're being forward thinking. So for all of the fans engaged and not engaged, how do they really? How can you discuss with us how you envision the fans in the stands building and helping to build this program?
Well, really, when we obviously play at Nissan, we're doing things that we're planning. I would love to play several games here next year in 25. How does live in 25 sound in Hale Stadium, right? Live,
get on there.
right. But there's some things obviously we have to do here in our stadium. But man, you heard the recent announcement and the work that's being done downtown with the dome that we could expect in 27 with the Titans. People don't know this, guys, but we have our own locker room.
Yeah.
Our kids have lockers with their names on them, personalized in Nissan Stadium, the current one and the future stadium, which is very impressive. So it's really we have our own space there, and a lot of kids, when they come in and we take them to Nissan and give them that experience, they're like, wow, this is where the great Steve McNair played, the great Eddie George played. I can go on, Kevin Dyson and some of those names that you've heard, here in the community, but it resonates. But we also want to have a two-way go, right? And I think that's important in our conference to scale and have some overseas opponents come to Hill Stadium, and it would be an intimidating factor playing here, right, in the North Nashville community with the AOB band thumping, marching, and the sophisticated ladies doing their thing, and Dr. McDonald, the Grammy Award winning
two times. Don't leave out
two
the two.
But no, that's important. But my vision is, from a fan attendance standpoint, is to really galvanize what's around us, right? And so we've talked in our external meetings. We talk about the outreach to community leaders and church group, youth pastors. Darlene and what she's done with Metro Nashville Parks. Dr. Battle's been a great partner with Metro Nashville Public Schools. She does a great job as a superintendent there. And so this year, we have a partnership the university does across the street at Pearl Cone. So our band will be over there performing the national anthem. And so I think that's great. We in athletics, we want to be a pillar for recruitment. And so we really are starting to get into these high schools, not only recruiting, but selling Tennessee State University. The Tennessee State University, the one out of two public land grant institutions, but I think it's
worry about the other.
Other one I know, and this one I know, but I'm right here now, baby.
And that's all that matters.
Big blue.
Well, Doc, before we let you go, Dr. Rigay, you anything for Dr. Allen?
No, I just really feel like it's important for everyone to know that it's not about just one or two games, but that you have a vision, and that's what we've clearly heard from all the other coaches, that there's a vision to build up this program, to build up the Big Blue Roar City pride, not just on campus, but across the community. So I'm really excited, and I hope the fans are ready and excited to get those season tickets. Oh,
it's awesome. And I appreciate your leadership. Dr. Nicole is our faculty athletic rep. And there's a great responsibility with that, just being the ears from a national perspective standpoint. There's a lot going on in the NCAA, a lot of change, right? And so we want to keep up with that change, and it's fluid, but we want to be aggressive in the pursuit of our goals, and not only in the NIL space and our student athlete services, but Doc, you've done a great job in that regard, so thank you. But it takes a village, right? It takes a village, and we got a great village here at Tennessee State with our alums and everybody pouring into the Big Blue. So So 2024, we coming, man.
We coming.
We coming. Let's
Well,
go.
Dr.
Doing
Allen.
like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dr. Allen, we appreciate your time. Obviously, your forward thinking, your forward vision for this department, for this university is very incredible, and we wish unwavering support from our community, from our fans, from our family, and obviously from the university. So again, we appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you in this 24th season. And go Big Blue, right?
All right, go Big Blue, baby. Bless. Thank you all. Good job.
So, Doc, there was our very own Dr. A.D. Allen.
I feel blessed. What a lineup.
It's been an incredible lineup. Obviously, you get to hear from two of our players who are on the preseason All-OVC team list with Draylon Ellis and Eric George, and then you get first-time offensive coordinator Travis Parcher, who's seen the ins and outs now of what he looks to implement with his offense and his players, and obviously talk about the new players. I mean, it's incredible to have 58 newcomers, and like Coach George said, build the culture that he wants and that's been here. And so I'm excited. I mean, I know you are as well. I mean, you get to be around the best people in the land.
I mean, yeah, they're behaving themselves right now. Classes have not started.
They haven't.
Yet.
That's true.
But I really am genuinely excited because football is the pulse of the HBCU culture. Now, this is not any shade to other teams. You guys know I love you. But when you're talking about back-to-school kickoff, you hear about our two-time Grammy Award-winning aristocrats of bands, the legacy of John A. Merritt, but just the excitement of having our first home game of the season since 2019. So there's a lot of great reasons for us to really show up. And also, we have to make sure that these newcomers know what TSU is about. And not just from an institution standpoint, but they have to feel like they're being supported.
Absolutely.
So it's really necessary for you guys to come out, meet them. Again, Friday, August 23rd. Prior to that, you also mentioned the Sounds game.
Yeah, the August 21st, the Chase Down Page first pitch game with the Nashville Sound. Yeah,
absolutely, and honoring his memory and everything as a TSU football player, but really everybody coming together because it really doesn't work. All of this magic that's happening out here doesn't work if there are not fans in the stands. So I'm looking forward to seeing my folks. All of y'all.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes a village, like Coach Allen said. It takes a village, and we can be there for the players to have those conversations that they really need, especially during the season and even after the season, after the class, whatever the case may be. So the support is needed, the support is wanted, and we're this is our cry to you guys that it's needed. These players, families are away are not here with them, right? So this is a family away from home. So I'm excited. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm excited, but I can give the John Merritt Classic plug. August 31st, Labor Day weekend. It's a full weekend event starting Friday, continuing into Saturday night after the game as well. So
and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think John Merritt has ever been on a Labor Day, not to my knowledge. I've been here for a while, but I'm looking forward to the fact that we get to hang out, get some football, get some good food, good fellowship, and then I don't have to go to work on Monday. Come on.
It doesn't get any better than that, right? So with that being said, though, we'll give one more shout out. Season tickets are on sale right now, $125, TSUTix.com. Call and get yours placed today. If you can't call, phone don't work, drive up, the window's open. All right, so we have people there. Again, August 21st, Chase Down Page, Nashville Sound Partnership, August 23rd, senior weekend, kickoff weekend here in Hale Stadium. $5 interest. Come meet and greet the players. Have a little fun as we get ready to kick the season off. Doc, any last words?
I'm just coming for the DJ. That's all y'all, he's put the challenge out. And I'm if nothing else, I got a bounce house in the snow cone.
That's all you need. So, hey, I've been your host, Julius McNair.
I'm Dr. Origi.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.